Hello again from Mission Alive. My name's Roger. I'm the Director of the MSC Mission Office here in Sydney. Yesterday I spoke a bit about heroes and some of our saints who were heroes in some sense. Although many heroes don't see themselves as heroes, they see themselves as ordinary people doing whatever they're called to do. This morning I'm going to speak to you a little about perhaps some of our missionary heroes. I have a cross here. You can see it has Sacred Heart on it. And it was in our possession here in the mission office. And I often wondered who it belonged to. So I did a bit of research. And I found photos of some of our old missionary bishops. And yesterday I found one of Bishop Vesters, Gerard Vesters, who was the bishop in Rabaul, or as it was then called New Pomerania. He was the second bishop of Rabaul. The first bishop was Bishop Louis Coupe, who began his missionary life at Yule Island on the Papuan side of the country, and then was made Bishop of Rabaul. These were people, in those days, the missionaries, left Europe and left for good. It literally was, leave everything and come follow me. They left their country, their culture, their home, their families, everything that was theirs in their home country. And they went to a place far across the world, totally different climate, totally different people. Different people living a different culture, a different way of life, a different set of beliefs. And they went there to evangelize them, to bring the good news. To get there was long, difficult travel. To explore and find the people within their jurisdiction required difficult travel by sea, walking through bush and mountains. It was a difficult and different style of living, much more basic, much more earthy. And they made contact with the people. And then they established stations, which are now parishes. They had to look to building because the people, all their buildings, all their houses were of what we call bush material, and it didn't last long. So if you wanted to establish a permanent mission, a permanent station, you had to build permanently. So they got sawmills, they cut timber, they milled the timber, and so on, and built houses and everything. And of course, as the personnel increased, there was a great need for supplies. So they had to often go back to Europe to find funding, to have things shipped out. Many things were shipped up from here in Sydney. And so it was a very, very different life. So it was very much leave everything and come follow me. And in the early days, there was no going home. It was a lifetime commitment. Some of the bishops had to go back for meetings with the superiors, with people in Rome, to find funding, to recruit new staff, and many other things. But for most of the missionaries, it was full-time. Until, I think, after the Second World War, they were allowed to go home every 10 years. Now, because of the war, there was a lot of lack of personnel and replacements. So some of them had to stay even longer. But that's another story. So we can reflect on mission. In those days, mission was basically European mission. Europeans going on mission to all those other parts of the world, especially in the 1600s when the explorers went out and found the rest of the world, and then missionaries followed. In fact, some missionaries were chaplains with those early fleets. And it was basically priests and religious. Now mission is is different. People from what were mission countries, now established churches, are going out on mission to other countries, and they're going to many, many different places. So that has changed. Many lay people more involved in the work of the church now go on mission to many different places around the world in many different capacities. In those days too, it was known as mission ad gentes, to the tribes, to the overseas, to other people. Now we don't see it as such. We can say here in the heart of Sydney, there's a mission. While ever there are people living, people walking around who do not believe in Jesus Christ and the good news, there is the mission. And we go on mission in different ways, often not by words, as St. Augustine said. Preach the gospel, and if you have to, use words. By our actions, by the way we help people, by the way we treat people, by our respect for people. Many different ways of going on a mission, living out and saying in our actions and our way of life, I believe in Jesus Christ, and I want you to believe also. So today our mission is different, but the mission is still there. The mission is alive. So today, whatever you do, and I know it's limited contact with people, but live out what you believe and share that with people in different ways. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you are alive, very much alive for the day. Thank you.